My name is Joe, and today, as always, we're diving deep into the world of jazz. From timeless classics to the hidden gems you need to hear. Today, we're exploring deep-cut, spiritual jazz and fusion albums that you need to know. 10 records that don't always get the mainstream attention, but definitely deserve a place in your listening rotation. And just to be clear, these records are hand-picked by me. So if your favorite album doesn't appear in this video, it doesn't mean that it's not amazing. Jazz is a universe, and I'm just sharing corners of it that I think you will appreciate. Feel free to share your picks down in the comments. I always read them, and I really enjoy receiving viewer recommendations. Alright, let's get straight into it. 10 deep-cut spiritual jazz and fusion masterpieces. Let's begin. We're kicking things off with drummer and band leader Norman Connors and his cosmic jazz debut, Dance of Magic. Before Connors became known for his later R&B and soul-influenced productions, this record captures him immersed in the spiritual fusion world. Expect long, expansive compositions, powerful rhythmic drive, and a sense of cosmic searching. This is music that rewards deep listening rather than passive background play. The album was recorded with a who's who of fusion players. Musicians such as Herbie Hancock, Gary Bartz, Stanley Clarke, Eddie Henderson, Airto Moreira, and many more. The result is a heavyweight ensemble sound that mixes modal spiritual jazz with Latin and fusion textures. My favorite tracks, Morning Change and Blue, are perfect examples of that cosmic rhythmic energy. Next up, tenor saxophonist Rudolph Johnson, and one of the milestones in the Black Jazz Records catalogue. The Second Coming is pure focused energy, spiritual jazz with post-Coltrane urgency and a searching, forward-thinking tone. Johnson plays with a fire that feels both disciplined and untamed. His approach to melody is direct, lyrical, but backed by a sense of cosmic yearning. My favorite tracks are The Traveler and Time and Space. The Traveler feels like a spiritual journey in itself, driven, meditative, and adventurous. And Time and Space is exactly what the title suggests. Hypnotic rhythm, floating lines, and a sense of expansion. This is an album that demands you sit down and take it in. Criminally underdiscovered. Weldon Irvine isn't just a musician. He's a philosopher, a poet, a band leader, and one of the most influential figures in jazz funk and spiritual jazz culture. On Time Capsule, Irvine blends funk, spiritual jazz, spoken word, and political reflection with deep groove sensibility. This album is raw, honest, and ahead of its time. A blueprint for the future of soul, jazz, fusion, and neo-soul. My favorite tracks are Soul Sisters and Bananas. Soul Sisters grooves hard, but there's a softness and warmth underneath. Bananas brings quirky funk energy paired with sharp musicianship. If you've ever listened to A Tribe Called Quest, Common, or Madlib, you've felt Weldon Irvine's influence. This is essential listening. The Chicago-based collective The Awakening crafted some of the most intriguing spiritual jazz of the 1970s. And Brand New Feeling is an incredible example of the city's jazz soul fusion energy. The album moves fluidly between deep funk grooves and introspective spiritual passages. There's a confident looseness to the playing, exploratory but grounded. My favorite tracks are Slinky and Mirage. Slinky brings thick bass lines and hypnotic rhythm, while Mirage floats like a dream, meditative, mysterious, and elegant. The art ensemble of Chicago meets jazz, funk, soul, but with its own unique vision. A gem for crate diggers and modern jazz heads alike. Guitarist O'Donnell Levy deserves way more recognition. Windows is a soulful jazz funk masterpiece, slick, groovy, and full of warm, golden tone guitar work. Unlike some jazz albums that lean abstract, this one is melodic, funky, and immediately enjoyable. Levy's phrasing is fluid and soulful, almost singing through the guitar. And the rhythm section holds pocket like glue, smooth but never dull. My favourite tracks are Panama Red and Moisturizer. Panama Red brings energetic fusion energy, while Moisturizer is silky as the name suggests. Pure groove. If you love Grant Green's funk era, this album should be in your rotation. A cornerstone of the Detroit spiritual jazz movement, trombonist Phil Ranelin and the Tribe Records community helped shape a politically conscious, community-driven era of jazz. Vibes from the Tribe carries a revolutionary spirit. Deep rhythms, hypnotic bass lines, chanting vocals, and cosmic spiritual tones. The production is raw but intentional, giving it a gritty, earthy beauty. Track-wise, Vibes from the Tribe Prelude introduces the vision, while Sounds from the Village expands into deeper spiritual territory, with chants and percussive meditation. This is jazz as a social movement, and every note feels purposeful. It's time to venture into Latin jazz fusion territory, and Caldera took that lane to beautiful heights. Sky Islands mixes jazz, funk, Brazilian rhythms, and progressive fusion, warm, colourful, and rich in texture. My favourite tracks are Sky Islands and Triste. The title track Sky Islands is uplifting and atmospheric, gliding forward with a soaring melodic theme. Triste leans deep into the Brazilian influence, gentle, breezy, and melancholic in the best way. The album has the same spirit as Return to Forever, but with a more tropical, earthy vibe. Perfect for those who love melodic, cinematic fusion. Doug Carn's Black Jazz Records output is legendary, and Infant Eyes may be his most spiritual recording, featuring the voice of Gene Carn on several tracks. This album blends soul, spirituality, modal jazz, and poetry. Carn reimagines classics like Wayne Shorter's Infant Eyes and McCoy Tyner's Passion Dance with a deeply spiritual lens. The arrangements are lush, graceful, and alive with cosmic energy. This album feels like a church service in the astral realm, powerful, uplifting, and transcendent. Alto saxophonist Shamek Farrah delivered a masterpiece of spiritual intensity with First Impressions. The centerpiece here is the monumental Umoja Suite, translating to unity, and that's exactly the feeling it brings. It's meditative, trance-like, driven by hypnotic bass and percussion, with Farrah's horn soaring above like a call to the ancestors. It's raw, spiritual, urgent, and incredibly moving. One of the most powerful, deep-cut spiritual jazz recordings of the era. We close with trombone legend Curtis Fuller, best known for his work with Art Blakey and John Coltrane. But Smokin shows his late 70s fire in a more fusion-leaning setting. This album puts groove and energy front and center. Tight rhythms, soulful lines, and Fuller's signature warm, powerful tone. My favourite tracks are Smokin and Sop City. Smokin does exactly what the title promises. Upbeat, tight, electric. Sop City digs into a slicker jazz funk pocket. A fun, fiery, underrated record that bridges hard bop roots and fusion heat beautifully. There you have it. 10 deep-cut spiritual jazz and fusion albums that deserve more love. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the like button, as it really does help the channel to grow. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe so you stay up to date with my latest uploads. If you want to continue hanging out with me here on the channel, I will pop a video in the corner for you to click on now. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.